Welcome back for game two of this lower division finals matchup. I'm, as usual, your first chair caster, Sunrise Samurai. We're going to be joined by a special guest chair for this game. The man, the myth himself, the leader of the Discord, Real, is here. Say hi to the people.
What's up? Yeah, I think it's Discord though.
All right, sorry about that. Fix our mic, fix our Discord. If it wouldn't be an Amaterasu stream if it wasn't technical difficulties involved. So Real, I assumed you were watching that game one. You're watching how unfortunately that thing roped down at the end. Uh, me and Narwhal were fortunate enough to catch the last games for these two teams. This is a real strong matchup for this finals game as he switches people around. So far these picks and bans, I'm very surprised to see the Charon banned out. They seem to be very afraid of that mid lane. And oddly enough, the Sobek to be let through. With how banging this Sobek was for Sir Ominous, I definitely wouldn't have pegged them letting this pick get pulled again.
Yeah, they seem. I don't know how well they practiced that pick, but I think they pulled it off really well.
Yeah, the set before that got them into this in the semis. Sir Ominous went 24 minutes into the game without missing a single pluck. An absolute banger of a pick. The Charon taken away, the Kali taken away. So a lot of targeted bans from Nameless on this side. We do see the Thor picked up, which was another one of each great pickups. So very smart picks draft. And even though the Sobek remained open, Sir Ominous chooses to go away from it and picks up this Ganesh pick. So this Ganesh has a lot of potential to shut down so far with the Pixar on the side. Very smart pickup into this Nike. Um, Gives her again another team where I want to see an erosion as early as physically possible on an Nameless team. Do this Geb Nike pickup. Shields are going to be abound for another game. Apparently, SPGamers very prioritize these shields.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna pick up any anti shield.
Yeah,
Just
that erosion comes on as the game goes
yeah,
forward. It is a Ganesh, so Ganesh to like to pick up this horrific pickup, slows on slows on slows. So that has the potential to shut down those shields a little bit more. Well, the one thing I don't want to see is this Ganesh move into like a Sunder pickup to try and counter out this Nike. I think other relics are far too valuable right now to waste on something like that just for the Nike. But as the rest of the picks are picked up, we do see the SPGamers going back into this Jingwei pickup. This Jingwei pickup
yeah,
started out far more aggressive than it had any right to be. And then late game was just absolutely running the lanes. Um, a lot of confidence onto this pickup for Jarby that he goes into it for a second game in a row.
yeah. I know whenever I pick up Jingwei, I feed for the first 20 minutes and then I finally catch back up.
Yeah, that's traditionally what you think of when you think of these Jingwei pickups. But we were watching Jarby. Don't get me wrong, he was fortunate enough to get a few kills under his belt early game and a few assists. So he did have a slight gold lead, and he did decide to go the Devos route as opposed to the Spike Gauntlet route. But we watched at level 9 him take this fight into this Chernobog's face and pick up an early 1v1, which is not typically what you think of from a Jingwei pickup. Jarby very confident on this pick, and I like to see him going back into it.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, so I'm not good at talking.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Well, as we move
I think it's the
further
common
along,
topic that I'm having a hard time with. Like, I don't know.
as we move further
I can
along,
talk to people directly, but whenever it comes to like picking stuff from my brain that I know, that's a different story. But
Oh,
that's a
that
good topic in itself.
yeah, the fact that your brain doesn't work right. Well, as we move further into these picks and bans, so far nothing too surprising. Um, Nameless wanting to get rid of the Agni. Pipe did really phenomenal on it last game. He didn't want to give them any ideas. The Ravana is clearly another targeted pickup towards Yeet Jungle Buff. His repertoire better than we do. So really hindering a lot of his pickups. We're seeing the Mama taking away the Kali, the Raven. It's gonna be very interesting to see what Jungle Buff does in this position. He is gonna save himself for last pick, like we've seen him do most of these games.
I think the Morgan's gonna be um pretty strong against the Thor.
Yeah, pretty strong against the Thor. It's gonna be strong against this Osiris. The main appeal of this Morgan, and it's the reason that we saw her so prominent in the solo lane when these mage solos were very meta, is her ability to peel for herself. You know, the knock up on the 2, the movement that she gains from the 3. So very, very strong pickup if you think that you're gonna be dove very hard. Now you see the Osiris on the other end, the Thor, you know, that's more than likely the thought process for this Morgan Le Fay. Now, we gotta talk about this Hoi Yi pick. Very, very out of the meta. How you liking this Hoi Yi pickup?
Um I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of Hou Yi gameplay yet. I haven't got a chance to try it, but I don't see it being terrible. I think you can pretty much play any ADC right now. Um in lane, and I don't think it'll be bad.
And an equally odd pickup as the Hoi Yi, we see a Bakasura picked up on the opposite side. Yeet Jungle Buff very clearly likes these king junglers. Isn't able to get his Kali. Uh, so decides to go to the route of the Bakasura. Another very, very out of the meta pick. Um, this how do you like this Bakasura pickup?
I hate Bakasura. I never want to see that shit in my game ever.
Now you hate it because you're a backliner and you don't like being ran down,
I'm a
or
support main. I just hate that character.
yeah, has the ability to dominate a lot of a game, but in the same vein has the ability to be responded to very, very
Right,
hard.
right. It all
We
it all
wa-
depends on how these team fights are playing, how he's playing around his solo laner.
yeah, we watched Yeet Jungle Buff last game go very, very aggressive into a lot of fights, and the Geb keep him alive early game.
Mhm.
Uh, on the the Kali ultimate keep him alive. Now with the absence of the Kali ultimate on an equally as aggressive player, I don't know if we're gonna see as much success this game from Jungle Buff as we did last.
Yeah, Tess is in chat saying that he's played quite they've played quite a bit of games against this team, and he said they've had to dedicate a lot of their band towards getting rid of Yeat's God pull.
Yeah, I mean we've seen him so far play the Kali. He was an absolute monster on the Kali. I'd be afraid of a pickup like a Merc as well. Honest with you, I'm not that afraid of this Bakasura pickup. I think the Nameless's team is very well equipped to respond very well to this Bakasura, with the one exception being the Osiris. But on the other end, the rest of the team should be more than able to help facilitate getting this Bakasura off the map.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but then you have to worry about the Geb still, which is I think going to be the main
Yeah, this
issue.
really, really, really questionable this box syrup pickup. And I see the chat talking about it. And a Wheelix pickup would have been phenomenal into that team.
Mhm.
But Jungle Buff has this very specific god pool that he likes to stick to. Let's see if it's gonna be that's for their downfall. Nothing else too crazy on the rest of the team. The Morgan Le Fay, another one of those characters a little on the outstretches of the meta, but certainly not an off meta pick by any means. certainly has the ability to stand and fight the rest of that team. Thoth, on the other hand, is an absolutely S tier pickup right now. So Pipe has been one of the stronger players on Nameless's side. Hopefully, made a lot of the speed of this game. I really don't want to see him go that the tablet pickup again.
Um, based on the picks, which team do you think you favor more?
Uh, I hmm. Depending on the pace that this game goes down. Now, if this is a slow slog fest, 0 kills, we're even walking 30 minutes into the game, certainly SPGamers have the stronger of the two. Um, just due to how late game this Bakasura and this Jingwei pickups are gonna be. But Skinder is a phenomenal jungler. If he really gets off to a run early on this Thor, I don't see SPGamers being a very successful from behind team, especially when you're looking at a pickup like Bakasura, Jingwei. These are characters that absolutely hate to be playing from behind. So
Right.
I want to see
But
very, very aggressive, strong come out from Nameless this game. Try and set the tone, put them behind. Um,
I mean, even if they do make it late game, you think about the Hou, which has a counter to diving, and also the Ganesh, and those can sit back and throw abilities.
yeah, they're certainly not out late game
Yeah,
Nameless.
for
Their,
sure.
their their team fight is far better than SP Gamers team fight. But we've seen how tricky Jungle Buff likes to play and how aggressive Jarby likes to be. This is one of those comps where if they have the ability to move throughout these fights uncontested, like we've seen in previous matchups, not necessarily the last game, but the previous sets that have been so successful for SPGamers, that it's going to be very, very difficult for Nameless to respond to that. So
Right.
early game, I want to see very big, big aggression onto Nameless's side. Um, I really wish they didn't pick this Hoi, because besides that, I think they have an absolutely phenomenal draft that has the ability to dominate a lot of this game.
Yeah.
Um, my biggest question mark, looking at both teams, there's a big old question mark on Bakasura, and there's a big old question mark onto Hoi.
Yeah.
That being
It re-
said, the Hoi is probably going to answer that. I mean, the Bakasura is probably going to answer that question a lot more with authority than this Hoi is going to be able to.
right. It really just depends on how skilled Kyrgios can pull off this Hou. That
Yeah, this
might
is
be the deciding factor on the game.
yeah. Listen, Hoi is absolutely one of those feast or famine characters where if he's an absolute monster on this pickup and he's able to do things that people don't see coming, i.e. your triple ricochets and things like that,
Right.
it can really surprise these teams. Sir Ominous has easily been one of my MVPs of this entire get on these support pickups. So hopefully he can facilitate a lot of this early game play. Unfortunate reality is, both abilities to clear waves is not phenomenal. So we're gonna see who comes out stronger, and that is more than likely gonna be the ones dominating this matchup. Oof. For the double ricochet, unfortunately, draws a cartoon circle around him, and does no real effect on him anyway. Yeah, nothing too surprising about the builds. Solos looking very, very standard. Bakasura leaps in very early game to finds a few basics onto this though. Nothing crazy. A little bit of damage isn't really gonna affect too much as people break off to get their side camps. But that's exactly what I want to see from this jungle buff pickup. Is him being as aggressive as possible. Now, Rio, you may not know this, but Nike is easily one of my favorite characters. I think I have her. I'm 10th on the leaderboards right now on her or something.
Yep.
Nike should absolutely be able to dominate this side lane over here. We are watching a very early gank over on the dual lane side, but no real no real threat due to Hoi Yi's ability to get out pretty scot-free.
Yeah.
They do go for the shield buff as Thor does respond, so now it's a clean 3v3, but health bars are looking a lot better over to SPGamers side. The response knockup onto the Thor. Thor falling about half HP right now. Bakasura unfortunately has tunnel vision towards this Hoi Yi, leaps in, Hoi Yi gets out, no threat free. What could have been a pickup onto this Thor turns out to be absolutely nothing except some side camps going the way of SPGamers.
I think
You gotta talk. You're literally.
I know, I'm struggling. I'm not gonna see a whole lot coming from these junglers until they both hit level 5.
Yeah, you make the argument that you think that the Thor has the ability to affect lanes a little more than Bakasura, but
He just got there earlier, yeah.
Ooh, and the Nike pickup onto this Osiris. What was going to be a very tough lane for this Osiris to begin with. That early kill is not going to do him any favors.
Yeah, he's not gonna get the XP from this blue buff.
Yeah, thankfully Skimmer does show up and make sure that he at least does get the blue buff. Him losing that would have really shut the door for him to do anything into this Nike.
It looks like there might just take the blue buff away as well. It depends on how this plays out.
Yeah, Skinder's going for it. Skinder has the ability. He did drop it, but the response right now, Bakasura does come in. Bakasura still has ult. Didn't hit 5 before him. He wastes the hammer. Bakasura's can run down, but the slow Osiris is gonna turn him off and pull him out. Yeah, the small little rotations there. If Thor is able to steal the blue, is able to stay alive, so now gives this Osiris a little bit more of a chance. Oh, and over on the opposite end, a pickup from this Hoi Yi. We saw Geb ult was, Ganesh ult was used, Hoi Yi ult was used, and they find themselves an early kill. This Hoi Yi, the biggest question mark over onto Nameless, finds himself an early kill. As we look over to this this duo lane, Nike, oof, Bakasura does use that ult and finds himself a kill onto those left heartbeat spawns where the Oracle was. Unfortunately, Thor falling very early in this fight. Bakasura is going to continue this invasion and start to clean up a lot of those roaming XPs. All right. As this game proceeds further down, we do see this Bakasura pick up this T2 Oboe. Yeet Jungle Buff certainly has a build that he has found that he thinks is the way to go. With this T2 of Oboe, he's gonna let that ride as long as possible and start to pick up win size very early.
Big poke on this though. I think he had intended on backing regardless to get his tier 2 here, but finish off his item.
Yeah, just hop in, Skin. We're gonna add a third chair here for this cast. You know, 3 chairs have
the more the merrier.
Yeah, the more the merrier. And I need to not talk for 10 seconds at a time.
You don't want to talk nonstop.
As much as it sounds like I like to. Well, he does drop the ult onto this Jingwei, but Jingwei really is never going to care about that ultimate pickup. She ults away to no threat.
Easily the least effective ult matchup in the game.
Yeah, you make that argument of the old counter of like Artemis 2 and Cupid's counter the Hoi Yi, and then you just have Jingwei who's CC immunes everything and takes off. We are watching aggressive invades onto Nameless' side to pick up both purple and green on the jungle side of SPGamers. Skin, now that you're here, let me get your opinion onto it a little bit. You were talking earlier about how much you love this pickup. Nike's gonna fulfill your dreams and pick up that mystical male second item.
Oh god, no. I want the support to pick up mystical male. I don't much care for the Nike pickup, I think Osiris should just absolutely win that lane. Duvardo's just not getting the pressure. Draconics just can run lanes. I've seen him do it far too many times.
Well, not to toot my own horn, but as a Nike in the game right now, no, realistically, her game is so strong because she has the ability to get nowhere near the
You're
seeing
breaking
him
up
flying.
entirely.
You're seeing Osiris thrive right now so much because a lot of these basic attacking soul laners.
Yeah.
On the opposite end, doesn't really care too much how much this Osiris has the ability to throw out basic attacks. Nike has the ability to get nowhere near that.
Yeah, that definitely helps her. She's probably the only non-AA god that can beat Osiris in solo.
Yeah, her, you know, you're watching your other odd pickups. Look at that. She owns Jemmy every time. She's such a very interesting character. The two, since the big changes to that, are very, very slept on. We do see a slight rotation on the buff over there, but he's going to realize that there's nothing really to gain, so he's just going to move over for the blue steal. Mid-fight going about as we think it is. Pipe loves this Book of Thoth pickup, but thankfully he's not on this Runic tablet again. Osiris does ult over the wall to try to stop the blue steal because he saw Ganesh was coming to help him. Unfortunately, it was not enough help. A 4v1 response there. Finds himself dying. But on the opposite end of the map, Hoi Yi picks his second kill up of the game thanks to this Thor rotating in to help him out. This question mark of this Hoi Yi finds himself 2-0. A 2-level lead. Answering those questions right so far.
Yeah, I think Hoi Yi has kind of a unsung spot in this meta, being anti-crit as he is.
Yeah, especially as they transition over more into the late game. Not necessarily anti-crit. They get the one crit and then everything going forward. So she has the ability to hit him with one little burst, but it's not going to be anything
sure,
great.
But it's once every 3 seconds is a whole bunch less than anything else.
Yeah, late game Jingwei should dominate those matchups depending on what this build is. Because we haven't seen a lot of Hoi Yi, the direction that he wants to go with this build is a big question mark. I am going to make the argument, though, that he loved that fail not last game. Hoi Yi's ult is pretty huge. We're probably going to see a fail not Hoi Yi, which is going to be a very interesting prospect.
For sure. I don't think I've seen him change an item in his build in the 4 matches I've seen him play.
And has he picked up Hoi Yi before this?
No, but he's played 4 different gods and he's picked up the exact same 6 items every game.
Yeah, some people love
there's nothing wrong with that. But just as far as what will he go, it's fairly certain that he's going to do the same thing, at least in my mind.
Right. Well, when you're talking about that fail not, you have certain gods, i.e. the Chernobyls, you know, enough E, Cupid, that really
You're breaking up again, man.
Single targeting somebody.
But yeah, he can definitely burst out a lot of damage for sure. It's just a matter of will he land those bounces, will he get those well-positioned ults, or will he not?
Yeah, as we start to transition a little to the mid game, we do see a big in mid. Oof, the ult and the Geb shield are enough that he gets to just run down that Thoth. I can only assume they watched the show. Else and Bakasura saw that as green light to pick up an easy kill. Unfortunately, what I wanted to be a power position, this Nameless team, this mid falls. We do see a transition. Hoi Yi is going for another solo kill onto that Jingwei. Unfortunately, the response is just too strong from SPGamers this time. But Thor comes in, lands on 2. It's a big kill onto that Ganesh ultimate. Huge damage. The turnaround is looking good right now, and a 3rd kill. A phenomenal turnaround due to this Ganesh and this Thor to pick up a 3 for none for Nameless. Nameless showing they are not out of this set yet.
I'm surprised they didn't go Gold Fury there. I don't think MLF can really contest that. Thoth could have been there. Like, they had one person that was pretty low, but that should have been a Gold Fury.
As you say that, MLF almost picks up a kill onto
That's
Skinder. He goes mid. They were looking a little low. They didn't really have the ability to zone her out. And you know, it was really the deciding factor was that oracles were on the side of SPGamers.
That's fair.
Yeah, a lot of these builds looking pretty questionable so far. Really, what I want to see for Nameless to find success for the majority of this game is just leave right side of the map and continue to try and build this Hoi-Yi's lead. Hoi-Yi, like I said, my big question mark sitting 3-0-3 12 minutes into this game.
Yeah, Hou-Yi's kind of crushing it. Yeah, I do agree that they just kind of need to leave Solo B. It was a problem child of them last time that they just kept trying to W key down the solo lane, and hopefully they don't make that same mistake again.
Yeah, listen, if you thought you weren't able to do that damage to a King Arthur, you're not gonna do that to a Nike. Like
For sure.
her survivability has only gone since then. I just want to see them leave this right side alone. Let Osiris do. At a certain point, they're all gonna 20. So let him get his prophetic stacks.
I am looking forward to Nameless building just every single anti-shield in the game. Geb has Benevolence going into Heroism and Shell is just... Please, more shields. I would like more shields.
You last game screaming for the erosion from minute 1, and he didn't get it till 5th item. This game they needed even more. Ganesh ult, we do see a big 4 ult doing some significant damage with that Bakasura. It is not enough. Well, a 1v1 was going on, and Jing Wei turns that one around. Jing Wei looking 2 levels down, but is still able to pick up that kill. Thor is not letting this up. Gets a huge 2-man doing big damage. The turnaround damage from the Jing Wei is a lot, but it is not enough to pick up a kill yet.
Huge ages from Jing Wei. That was almost enough to save her life, if not for Thoth showing up at just the best time. Or the worst, depending on whose side you're on.
I'm certainly rooting for Nameless right now. I think they're a pretty fantastic team. I think that game 1 was unfortunately down to just letting SPGamers have some picks that they shouldn't have any business in any game.
And just all of the thirst for the King Arthur. Just back up that solo.
Yeah, leave Solo. You know, it's a Nike. Leave her alone. Who cares? It's gonna do a little bit of damage, but it's not gonna be anything crazy.
As long as you don't let her zone you for her entire health bar, you're gonna be fine.
Especially, I'm a proponent of this mystical male pickup onto Nike. That's what she flourishes doing, is being that in people's face. A lot of proc build of, you know, between Warriors Axe and Glad Shield. I think that's where she really starts to strive. I want to see her go more tanky, and I definitely don't want to see this Osiris do what he did last game and start to pick up these very odd damaging items.
Your friend here is trying to bully Thoth. Or, sorry, Thor.
Yeah. Well, the reality is there's nothing that Thor could do to this Nike right now that would hurt her even the least. So they really need to stay away from this right side to try and put this Morgan Le Fay back. I want to see more ganks onto this Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah, I know both junglers just love to gank solo, and I don't understand why. Both of these guys just adore to just spam gank solo, and it doesn't amount to anything, I feel like, almost ever. Solo's gonna win or they're gonna lose, and it's not gonna be because of you.
Right, especially when we're looking at an Osiris build. And tanky as we're right now, like this prophet. All Osiris's goal is to be an annoying opponent. Thor goes for the 2, unfortunately Gold Fury destroys it. The turnaround ult from Bakasura does a good amount of damage, as well as the ult from Morgan find a kill. Oh, very low health is going back into the sky. See him, that was a very odd ult from Thor. Thor just ult safety. Chris, unfortunately, 3 levels down on the snake. He's over one of this 2. Nike ult comes out. Down to ultimate. This is a very... Find the kill onto the Osiris instead. Boy, he turns around and finds himself a kill.
Losing the back line.
Thor come back from ult away to safety. You make the argument that he ulted just to get back to tower quick enough. Goes back in the air, goes to land on Jingwei. Unfortunately, misses. The shell comes out from Geb to make sure that Jingwei is to no threat.
Are they gonna get the gold? SPGamers does steal.
A steal from the
gold.
Geb. Ooh, you hate to see it.
Jingwei lives for it.
And Jingwei lives. That's one of those that the gold hurts. That hurts more than just the fact that it happened.
Yeah. Spock is trying to find some more value. Jungle Buff he will not let off that gas pedal. It doesn't matter what you do to him.
Yeah, he's sitting a little behind for it for this constant fighting, but he's disrupting enough. The Thor going in there was really to try and stall out the Jingwei and the Geb from rotating over to the Gold Fury. Unfortunately, the reality of doing that under tower is you don't really get to stand there and stall him. He had to hammer out, and Geb was able to just steal it for free.
Yeah, he needed to kill her. He could not let her live there, and unfortunately, he missed the hammer.
Yeah, well, he really just needed to stall them out from walking over to the Gold Fury. Unfortunately, when you try and do it under the tower, you don't have any ability to stand in their face. So Geb walks over and gets a massive steal. That was absolutely huge for SPGamers. It's going to slow a lot of this momentum that Nameless has been building.
XP's looking pretty even, but gold is looking pretty bad in favor of the gamers at the moment.
Yeah, 2K isn't anything crazy, but like I said, it's more of the fact that, like, hey, we had all this momentum, we won a great fight. Man, a Geb 2 of all things, as you know, 200 damage is what ends up making the difference there.
For sure. Thor's going into the air. Pretty sure she's out of range.
Yeah, Jingwei smelt that ult out from a mile away. She just goes back under somewhere.
Geb very nearly got caught. I'm surprised he went that far up.
At the end of the day, Geb isn't really too hurt by all that. Thor ult sitting, you know, level 18. He is 6-1. That boy pretty big. Those I just thought for a while. They're at face first W key into the tower. Walks away 1 HP. If you could say Jungle Buff is good at one thing, it's walking away from fights with absolutely no help. Jingwei is now trying to pick up a kill onto this Thor underneath that T2. Gets silenced out by the Geb. Or the Ganesh. What's up for 2? Yeah, Nike does her best to pick up a kill there. More so probably just farming some prophetic stacks.
Very much so. That's the other really nice thing about Mystical. It makes prophetics just the easiest thing in the world to stack.
Ooh, Geb rolls out, gets a huge stun onto this Hoi. Big damage. Bakasura leaps in. Sprint is propped to try and run down this Hoi. Jingwei dash past. Aegis assassin walked away with about 100 HP. Huge Aegis pickup there.
I like it.
Just barely making it out, but barely is enough.
Yeah, and now the turnaround, what they wanted to pick up that Pyro looks like it's going to go the way of SPGamers. What was a game pretty firmly in control of Nameless. After that Gold Fury steal, seems to be just going head first towards the SPGamers side. This though is not showing a lot so far, sitting 2 levels down to this Morgan Le Fay. A lot of their success is going to come from this Thoth. We're not seeing it so far. He's getting out damaged by a Ganesh.
By everybody.
Pipe. Yeah, Pipe easily one of my favorite players on the side of Nameless. We've seen him late game on mages put in absolute work. Unfortunately, we're just not seeing it come to fruition yet this game.
Yeah, Jungle Buff is really just running him down. He can't give him a moment to breathe. He just walks up, blinks on him, and then Thoth dashes away, and you just jump after him. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, under tower twice, dropping that ult, picking up.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt his mental. Just like, there isn't a safe space for me to stand. I could be in Fountain, and he's still just gonna walk at me. Let's see these guys rotate over. They're using these teleport pads. Pick up some kills. Maybe kill Jungle Buff. Yes, he does go down.
Jungle buff falls, and it's another kill onto the side of Hoi-Yi. Hoi-Yi's sitting 5-1.
Nike's trying to make something out of this, but I'm pretty sure she's just gonna get pinched.
A pinch is pretty arguable because she's and Nameless on the opposite end. How did that happen? Nameless picks up Gold Fury?
Wait, who did that? I wasn't even looking.
It was credited to Thoth. There's no way Thoth just soloed a Gold Fury.
No.
Neither of us were paying attention, but somehow Nameless just picked up a Gold Fury.
Fabulous play. Clearly just better players than either of us. I've never heard of a Thoth soloing anything. Maybe
I have no
buff.
But okay.
I'm so confused.
And not just gold, Oni goes the way of Nameless. Though. They're turning this around pretty huge with that pickup onto Yi jungle buff. The dominoes fell pretty far into their favor.
Yeah, that was a big pickup.
Yeah, what was it? What was a 2? You know what? He did pick up a kill onto Jarby. I assume Jarby was trying to solo it.
Oh.
He smoked it out, walked over, picked up the kill onto Jarby, and then took it over himself.
There's some logic. Alright, cool. We're back on track.
Yes.
I was gonna say, this XP difference is way too much for just that kill.
Right. He was 2 levels down. Now he finds himself even with mid. Exactly as predicted. This Hoi-Yi going strong towards this Nike though, out of all things.
Yeah, that Venom death.
Kill.
The Envenomed Executioner just makes Nike's shield irrelevant.
Yeah, as long as he talks before she uses the shield, it's a 50% decrease in the shield he's gonna get. They're watching a stuff from Nameless. 23 minutes in, people here are gabbing way. Way back there, clearing some camps, so I don't think she's too onto this yet. Fire Giant does fall to about half health. You watch Geb steal a Gold Fury, we'll see if he has ability. So far, this looks like just a bait. They do pull back. The backliners are walking back into the pit. They are committed to this. They do not see the Morgan Le Fay. Big Gebbo comes out. The significant damage. Morgan Le Fay coming out of nowhere. Significant damage. Picks up the kill onto Pipe. Nameless used to violence. Fire Giant and Hoi should have the ability to get away. Ganesh drops all. Hoi-Yi dodging out the 2 from the Morgan Le Fay. This Hoi-Yi play has been absolutely phenomenal right now. Morgan Le Fay dancing her way there, but does not find any success onto that Hoi-Yi kill. Turnaround kill onto the Geb. The response is finally there. They drop this Morgan Le Fay. That fight. A 1 for Fire Giant and 3 SPGamers being abused, but the lazy back is there. Finally responds in time, picks up a kill, shuts down the Hoi-Yi. Boy, that's in a competitive setting. You never want to see a lazy back like that.
That is disappointing for Nameless. They lost their most important member. They lost both of their mega damage out of that, and Hoi-Yi had no business dying. He should have been backing under tier 2.
Or he shouldn't have died. Pipe falls because of pretty good play of the Morgan Le Fay. They were all staring at the Geb. They were all staring at the Jingwei. Morgan Le Fay very smartly just sat where that Pyro Pit sits. No wards. Bid her time. Is able to come around and get an easy fight. The turnaround escape from the Hoi-Yi is, a thing of wonder because his ability to dodge out that 2 multiple times is very, very impressive. Nike was trying to posture onto this Pyro Giant. It is picked up due to a Thoth ult. So this very clean Pyro pickup onto Nameless' side. Nameless back into control of this game, despite the Thoth still sitting bottom of the damage charts. Osiris does catch himself a little bit. Has taken a little bit of damage from the Nike, but nothing too crazy as we're watching these teams group up. Fire Giant does still sit on 3 members of Nameless' side. I want to see them do something big with this Fire Giant. Clean up a lot of these towers. Start to get this gold lead more significantly in their favor.
Yeah, for sure. Thor needs to do something big to make use of his Fire Giant. I'd argue that his is about the only one that really matters outside of just sustain on the supports.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna pick up an easy Gold Fury. Unfortunately, we watched this happen last game. Yi Jungle Buff loves these back doors. He's gonna find himself a T2 tower over on right hand side. No response. I see Osiris teleport through. The teleport's gonna be far too late. He's gonna get that tower pretty free. He shouldn't have any ability to kill Osiris here. Oh,
As you say that,
yeah, excuse me.
how dare you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I absolutely underestimated Quinn's and Xyz there. What looked like he was slowly chipping away at him turns around to be big damage. Thor goes into the sky, misses the Bakasura. Team response. Thor needs to just get out. Nash needs to get out right now.
Very
Jungle
nearly.
Buff again. His team very behind, but finding a way to absolutely keep him in this game pretty handedly with that phenomenal backdoor and kill onto the Osiris.
Yeah, it's not put them even, but it sure kneecapped them a little bit. It's put them back into a much more comfortable position. Those towers going away will just make, like, if Nameless loses one real fight, like loses completely, it could end the game. They just shove down mid and they win.
Yeah, the reality of that entire play is if Osiris is going to rotate over, he needs to do it significantly earlier, so he's not fighting the Bakasura with the tower being 1 HP. He needs to make sure that he's defending a pretty full health tower. Because every time, like you said, he's just going to drop that ult and turn around and eat him. I didn't respect the damage as much as you did, and for very good reasons.
Okay. I'm a Bakasura player. It's my favorite jungle. I'm well aware of how much that will just eat through anybody who wants to.
Yeah, you would assume, you know, how this. Yeah, wow, almost an insta kill pickup from Pipe's ult. Unfortunately, doesn't find the kill, but is improving his standings on the damage chart. Thor trying to find the kill on the backup, ults into the back with a Geb shield and a shell. Far too much for him. We are seeing the turnaround 4v3 in this mid lane. Morgan Le Fay again doing what she does best and hiding around these corners and come back in. Bakasura does rejoin the fight, is doing some pretty good damage onto the Thoth. Thoth has to aid these as they try and walk themselves out of this. Thoth doing a good damage on the turnaround, but Nike is not giving up this aggression. Dives in. Hoi Yi taking a lot of those Jing Wei crits. Pass to Aegis, jumps over the wall, lands on green buff. Nike is gonna be gets one Ren off to find that kill. What was Nameless's fight in their control turns around pretty hard on them. This game is going so back and forth, and it's really, where is Yi jungle buff? Where are these Geb shields as the deciding factor to everything?
Yep, they keep losing track of Bakasura, and he is reminding them with gusto.
Yeah, we need to see a lot more awareness as to where this Bakasura is lying in fights, and we need an erosion. Enemy team, why pick up the Stona Binding Osiris? I don't understand. Stona Binding that only procs onto his 3 when he could just have an erosion and shut down so much of what this enemy team likes to do. I am very stoutly rooting for Nameless in this, but they just cannot seem to get these builds together.
Got Thor in the air. Let's see if he can do anything big here.
Yeah, 5 grouped up. He does land that ultimate in, but it's in between the lines. Doesn't find anybody. Nike turns around, zones him out pretty successfully. We're watching SPGamers pick up this Fire Giant because now they know the Thor ult is down and the rest of Nameless is back in the base healing up.
This should be a pretty free Fire Giant if they just take it. Osiris is about the only one in any kind of position to steal, and Geb should be able to lock him down.
Yeah, Nike's zoning out the enemy team pretty successfully. It's just left as the backliners to do that. If Nameless just gets in there and drops it, we do see some blinks in. They are able to. I want them to pick up the Fire Giant. It's only got 1,000 HP. Please turn and hit the Fire Giant. Nameless they'll find it through some phenomenal blinks. That was far hairier than it had any business being. Jing Wei caught out in the end. Or I'm sorry, Nike. These wings on these characters are messing me up. Bakasura does blink in, drops the ult. No real damage responding yet. A lot of damage onto that Osiris, almost killing him. Thor and Hoi Yi are trying to chase down Bakasura. The phenomenal stun through to the Thor is able to pick up that kill. So Fire Giant on 5. They're for some reason doing the beacon. I want to see them. I want to see them get this gold, get this Oni, and group up and go for a real siege.
They need to wipe these towers off the map. There's no reason for there to be 3 towers still in the game this late.
Yeah. 30 minutes in. Well, you have 80k gold. But going for jungle buff steals.
Yeah, I don't understand. They don't press leads when they have them. They're playing so scared.
Yeah, Bakasura are down right now. They have they do need to reset here for sure.
Now, for sure. But I feel like they could have pressed a whole lot harder than they did.
Yeah, no, they pick up the left-hand tower. The idea being now is that mid should have no real resistance mid, and then they should do a real team group up siege right-hand lane.
That's the idea, but if they turn on Hou Yi right now, Hou Yi just dies.
Hou Yi dropping the 2 and wanting to go in at them.
Again, like Thor should just die here. There's no reason for Thor to do anything but evacuate.
All Thor is doing there is trying to make sure that he has vision and create space for Hou Yi. Hou Yi does drop that mid tower. Unfortunately, Hou Yi still hasn't reset off of any of this massive gold that they've gained. But we do see a big group up in the right-hand side. This is going to be the siege that we wanted. Nike smells out where the Hou Yi is, jumps over the wall, does a decent amount of damage to him, but it's nothing too significant. We're watching a clean 5v5 siege on the right-hand side. EFG side of Nameless. They do have a pretty great sieging team, and their only real anti-siege potential on SPGamers is recording Lefay. Nike dives in, able to disrupt the Thoth, do nothing too serious to him. Thor is trying to smell out where that Bakasura is on the side. Thor goes up in the air, lands onto the back line, but it is a Jing Wei. Oh, and Osiris with the phenomenal pull in, picks up the Jing Wei, all big damage onto the opposite end. Thor finds himself his second kill. Hou Yi goes into the sky. They're trying to do everything they can to keep Hou Yi alive from this Bakasura, but Bakasura just shreds down the Ganesh as Gab is able to zone out this Hou Yi. Oh, Pipe picks up another kill. So far, it is a 3 for 2. Hou Yi does stand alive, turns around, stuns out Geb. The last member remaining is the remembered that you do not want remaining over as Yi jungle buff, but Hou Yi turns around, finds a huge basic onto him. The hammer comes in big. Thor picks up a deicide for Nameless. 34 minutes in. Unfortunately, they don't have minions. They're trying to do an end game. They have 15 seconds on the Stingray. They have a little bit of time to let these minions pour in, but those health bars are sitting pretty low. Minions do show up. They will tank it. I think that this is going to be a pretty successful game, too, for Nameless. Huge Thor and Hou Yi plays. That Hou Yi certainly wasn't a question mark, and he answered that question. He was not messing around.
Even without the erosion anywhere to be seen, we still managed to win it.
I know you see the T2 of like the mystical male, but in a dream, that's what it is.
In a dream, we can continue to dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a match. There was so much back and forth. That was kind of exhausting to watch how many times that went back and forth.
Yeah, we see huge damage numbers onto SPGamers. The damage doesn't mean anything. Pick up that kill. Skinder having an absolutely banger performance on this Thor, and as well, Hou Yi of all characters was a 4 anytime anybody came near him.
Yeah,
that was game 4, best 5 for this lower division matchup between SPGamers and Nameless. We're gonna throw it to a quick and join you again with game 3 soon.